Okay, today we're going to talk about how do we handle problems that require us to apply multiple exponent rules. So I'm going to give you some steps here, the order that you could apply the exponent rules in. You don't have to follow this order, but this is a good order of where to start if you don't know what to do with the problem. So the first thing we'll do is apply the zero exponent rule. So we're going to look at our problem up here, and we find that in our problem up at the top there are no zero exponents. So in this problem we get to skip the first step. In step 2 we're going to apply the power rule, which means we take the exponent on the outside of the parentheses and we multiply it with everything inside of the parentheses. So 3 is like saying 3 to the first. So 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. So this becomes 3 to the negative 3 power. Now we're going to multiply the exponent for the x with the negative 3. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Now the exponent for the y. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Now we'll go down to the denominator and do the same thing. The negative 2 needs to be distributed to every exponent in the parentheses. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the exponent rule. The exponent rule says that we need to take negative exponents and switch their position. So let's start in the numerator. Any negative exponent is going in the numerator is going to need to move down into the denominator. So 3 to the negative 3. So we write 3 to the third on the bottom of the fraction. X to the negative 12. We move to x to the bottom and the 12 becomes positive. Y to the sixth is going to go ahead and stay up top. Okay, now let's go to the denominator. 2 to the negative 2. Well, negative exponent, that has to move up top, so that becomes 2 squared. X to the negative 6, that also needs to move to the top and become positive. Y to the negative 4th needs to move to the top and become positive. Finished with the negative exponent rule. Let's go down to the product rule now. The product rule says that for like bases we need to keep the base and add the exponents. So let's look for like bases. We have y to the 6th and y to the 4th. I'm going to bring everything else in the numerator down first. So y to the 6th times y to the 4th. Keep the base, add the exponent. 6 plus 4 is 10. So that becomes y to the 10th. Quotient rule. For like bases, we keep the base and subtract the exponents. We do larger minus the smaller. So and let's cross this out because that's not making much sense in this particular problem. We've got x's in both the numerator and the denominator. So we're going to do larger minus smaller. 12 minus 6 is 6. And we're going to keep our answer in the denominator because that's where the larger exponent was. And those are the only like bases that we have to divide. Now we're going to raise the numbers to the appropriate power. So 2 squared equals 4. This is basically just simplifying. Y to the 10th, we can't simplify that because we don't know what y is. 3 to the third, well that's 3 times 3 times 3. That's 27. And x to the 6th. Now we just check the coefficients to see if we can reduce them. No, 4 over 27 does not reduce. So this is our answer. And we will go through example 2 together in class, so we'll save that one until tomorrow.